Hi, my name is Charles Draven, and today I'm going to show you how to get traffic to your offers using something called SEO, Search Engine Optimization. It's an organic strategy, meaning that you don't have to pay for ads. And the whole idea here is to get to number one in Google for a certain keyword, something that someone types into Google or any other search engine. And there's no guarantee that you'll be number one, but the goal is to get there. And this tool, it actually has 4 tools within the suite called SEO PowerSuite. It is free to use. It is a freemium, which means that you could utilize it. You could even utilize it even after a year. However, there's going to be some limitations. And then if you pay for it, then many of those limitations will not exist. So that's what this tool offers. It offers this free system. And it has 4 tools that will allow you to do all these. So find target keywords. Keywords are the phrases that people type into Google to search for things. You could check your current rankings, like are you closer to number one or are you on page 2? Fix on-site issues. There are problems with people's websites, and it will identify those factors that will have a negative impact on your website so you could improve it. I will also mention this demo will show you how to get traffic even without your own website. Optimize pages. If you want to check out the content on your pages, you want to see what keywords need to be added to improve your score, this tool will allow you to do it. Get rid of toxic links and then build quality backlinks through manual outreach. So this actually has an outreach tool that's built in. Um, Anything that deals with links or backlinks, that's all called external SEO. And then everything else, anything on your website is called on-page SEO. We're going to be focused on on-page. It's one of the easiest ways to make money online, especially for people that are just getting started. And in fact, if we just focus on number one here, finding targeted keywords and then creating content based on that, that whole business model, it still works today. You just have to make sure that you focus on keywords that have a low keyword difficulty score. So that is what the demo is going to be focused on. Let's go to the tool. I could click on new. When you start up, you'll see something like this. You could put a website in here, but what I'm going to show you is a method that I use. I've been using it for probably over 10 years. I am a paid member of this platform, and this platform, it competes with other systems called Ahrefs and semrush, which are both cloud solutions. This is a desktop solution. It will work on Windows, Mac OS, and also Linux. I've tested it on all of those operating systems and they work fine. And if you're wondering about smartphone devices, mobile devices, if you have a device that is compatible with Java or OpenJDK and is in one of those operating systems, then it'll work. If it's not in one of those systems, it won't work. So just want to mention that up front. You can put your competitor's website address here. I will say this with the free version, this tool is very useful if you want to see keyword difficulty scores for competing websites. If you're going to be using all the other tools, especially if you don't have your Google account connected, then you might not get all the information you need. So I would say before you use this tool, look at blogs, other websites in your space. So for me, I'm in the make money online space, and I can look for other affiliate blogs, other blogs that focus on business opportunities and all that kind of stuff. And I can analyze those and find out what keywords they're using. And so that is the primary approach that I utilize. I really focus on my competitors, how they're getting traffic, and if there's any way to one up them, to actually provide content that is better than theirs or on a different platform. Because a lot of people will just focus on their blog. If they don't have any presence outside of their blog, then it's very easy to compete with a lot of these companies. And the reason being is that other websites like YouTube and Medium, Quora, Reddit, LinkedIn, you could post articles on LinkedIn. All these websites, they're very, very popular. They're highly trusted by Google, and you could get a lot of traffic just by piggybacking on their momentum. And this is the momentum strategy that I use a lot in my business, where I utilize these types of platforms to post content on versus just creating a brand new blog. If you just create, like, let's say a brand new WordPress blog, it will take you quite some time, possibly months or well over a year, just to be able to catch up to those rankings that you could get from the first 1 to 4 weeks on those other platforms, the third-party platforms that I mentioned. So what I do is that I'll just create a generic project and I'll use an arbitrary name. And this is a strategy I use that I don't even see it in the SEO PowerSuite group or even the documentation. So what I've been doing is I just type in an arbitrary project name for the domain, and I could put like, let's say, the year and month. And I typically will not put an extension if I'm just doing generic research. If you do put an extension like a .com or .ai, .co, .net, that will take the system longer to analyze. They'll try to analyze it, but if it's something like this that doesn't exist, especially if I don't put a .com, it's faster. So I'll just click on finish, and then automatically, just within like a split second, it showed this, and then I press yes. If you put an extension like a .com, it'll spend more time, maybe like an extra 20 seconds. So I don't put an extension if I'm just doing this type of research. And then I'll go to the bottom left, and then I'll just cancel everything in the queue. And the reason why I canceled everything in the queue is because I don't want this system to analyze that domain, because this domain is fake. So the next step, if you are using the free version, this is a step that you'll need to take if you're using the free version, is that I go to human emulation, make sure that everything is selected here. And if you mess this up, you could go ahead and set the defaults here. So for example, if I change this to 25 and I say I want to go ahead and change this back, I just click on set to default. Next thing is that I'll turn on user agents. I'll just pick the first item in the list. This means that when the website like Google looks at your browser, it could detect what type of browser you're using. So I'll just use the latest version on this list for both desktop and mobile. Keep in mind that browsers, even though you use Chrome on your mobile device and then on your desktop, it actually has a different user agent, so a different identifier. Proxy rotation, for this, I would say skip it. If you have proxies, then I believe you would know how to use them. CAPTCHA settings. I will select the top two. This means that you'll have to manually enter data for CAPTCHA if you're not sure what CAPTCHA is. If you've ever gone to a website and seen something like solve this puzzle, solve this problem, enter this text, and it might have like different angles, different colors of text, that's called a CAPTCHA. And it's mostly used for anti-spam, anti-bot measures, because a lot of these websites, they don't like people to be spamming their websites or performing automated queries. And so you'll click on this, and for the free version, you'll have to manually answer them. For the paid version, I don't have to answer them. So that's actually a big benefit for the paid version. Also, I don't have to deal with these types of delays. So the more delays there are, the slower it is. So I don't have to deal with that in the paid version. Next thing is that I'll go to miscellaneous global settings, and make sure that number of simultaneous tasks is set to 1. And then I'll press OK. Next step is to go to preferences and then go to preferred search engines. I typically don't want to use Yahoo. I'll focus on Google USA. So I'll delete Yahoo. And if you go to the end, then you could select to delete. There's also, like, let's say YouTube, if I wanted to go for YouTube, but I don't in this case, so I'll just put Google. And I focus mostly on USA. My market is tier 1, consists of tier 1 countries. So even outside of the US, I could focus on, like, let's say the UK, I could focus on Australia a lot more, but I focus on the US because a lot of keywords are here in the US, especially for my market. And so there are many other countries here. But if you are focused on a global audience, I would suggest just keeping it at Google USA. And put OK here. And that's it. So what I'm going to do now is use the most popular tool that I use here, which is looking at my competitors. There are other tools, like if you ever use something called the alphabet soup method, there's autocomplete tools, related search, and also questions. If you're not going to put your Google account, if you're not using the paid version, I would say go ahead and skip those. Just go ahead and use ranking keywords, and then put a competitor's URL in here. And I'm just going to put this guy named Pat Flynn. He has a website called Smart Passive Income. Then I'll click on search. He has been in the affiliate space for a very, very long time. So he's going to have a bunch of affiliate keywords. So let's see if I could reveal those. So there's a bunch of keywords, close to 10,000 keywords. So what I typically do is that I'll look for keywords that have a keyword length of over 5, more than 5, and press OK. And you can see those here. And there's 3,000, over 3,000, so I could bump that up to 6. And then there's close to 2,000, and then I'll go ahead and bump that to 7. Let's say even 10. There's none above 10. Let's do 8. So there's almost 600 keywords that are 8 or more. And then the next step that I do is that I'll put and then I'll go ahead and put keyword difficulty less than 30. 30 might seem kind of high, especially if you're using tools like Ahrefs and others, but one of the things I realized is that I could still get traffic from these types of keywords. I could even reduce this down to 6. So right now there's 7 keywords. If I reduce it down to 6, there's going to be 41. So I could still get traffic from these keywords, and that's because traffic, it depends on the various factors in Google, and also your content. Your content could contain keywords that another website doesn't have in their website, in their web pages. So I don't mind going for these other keywords that are closer to 30. If you are looking for very easy keywords, you could put less than 20, but I will say this, that if you are marketing in a very competitive space, then the chances of finding, like, let's say, high demand, low competition keywords, it's very slim. You could utilize other tools to find those as well. But again, these types of keywords, I could still get traffic from them, so it doesn't bother me just working on these. And then what I typically do is that I will post the content on these platforms and see where they rank. I'll manually type them in and see how they rank. I'll make sure that I use in private or incognito mode, especially if I'm looking at Google for Medium or YouTube content, whatever I'm searching for. So what you might have seen already on this list is that there are some very similar keywords like this. Can personal development audio program give you money? Can personal development audio program make money? So variations of the same keyword. So the thing is that with these keywords, I could still rank for them in different ways. Let me show you. Okay, right now I'm using something called po.com. It is a tool from Quora. I'm a paid member of this. It's an AI alternative. And this tool here, Assistant, if I look into the details here, let's see if it says it. Let's go bot info. It says right here. This bot is powered by third-party model providers, including OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. So it's all mixed into one single LLM, I would say connector. And so what I can do is put in this keyword, can personal development audio make money? It was something like that. Let me check it out again. Can personal development audio program make money? Okay. And what I want to do is create content on this. And I'll say that many years ago, when I first started with SEO, many years ago, I would have a unique list of keywords, all with unique intent, and say, I'm going to create one piece of content for just that one keyword and then just go to the next keyword. I don't do that nowadays. I might do that in the first phase, but if I really want to dive deep into a keyword, I'll show you what I do. So I have this long keyword. The keyword is a phrase, consists of multiple words. And this is what somebody could possibly type into Google. But what I'll do is I'll put in this prompt here. And you could even use ChatGPT for this. I'll put in something like list 10 angles with 5 YouTube title suggestions that are highly engaging for each of, I'll say for this keyword. List 10 angles with 5 YouTube title suggestions each that are highly engaging for keyword, and then I pasted the keyword. Let's see what happens. So this is how you do a deep dive into a keyword and come up with a whole bunch of unique ideas. So for example, audio versus video, which personal development program makes more money? And then I'll go to the top. From zero to profit, my journey with audio programs for personal growth. And of course, like some of these topics you might not be able to create content on, but let's go all the way to the bottom. The future of personal development audio programs, profit predictions for 2025. So the reason why I'm showing you all this is because you could actually use that keyword and dive deep into it and rank for a whole bunch of other keywords that aren't in just one basic article. The articles that I typically create, if I create them at bulk, I'll typically strive for roughly 1,500 words. And I say roughly, it could be somewhere between like 1,000 to 2,000. So that's using bulk if I'm using AI. If I'm doing it manually, what I'll do is that I'll type in some of these, like let's say I'll put in one of these titles. I'll go into Google, I'll look at the top 3 results. I'll try to analyze the content link. I often use a tool called wordcounter.io, and I just paste the content in there and it'll tell me how long those articles are. And so if I paste, like, let's say the top 3 results, I'll take the average, or I might even go for the highest count. And some articles could even be like 5,000 words, 15,000 words, pretty crazy. So that's what I would do. And then if I do that on YouTube, then I would do something similar. That's my preference. You might be wondering how I create content, and I'll show you how I do that. So maximize your earnings, tips for selling personal development audios. I'll just get this keyword. So what I typically do is that I'll build out an outline, and the outline can be something like this. Create an outline that is for a 2,500 word article on this topic. Instead of an introduction, create a highly engaging hook. Exclude the conclusion. Some people like to do it this way. So the hook. Imagine waking up to a world where your voice inspires others while your bank account grows. Selling personal development audios isn't just a dream, it's a lucrative reality waiting for you. Share a quick success story of someone who's transformed their life, and that's just something that you could put in if you want. So let's go ahead and create the article. And of course, after the article is generated, you go ahead and edit it, remove, add parts that you want. So what I can do here is put something like this. Create an article. I'll put create a 2,500 word article based on that outline. Use a conversational writing style that has a I think it's called Flesh Kincaid. Kincaid readability level of, I think it's 6th grade, and use extremely, I'll say use extremely short paragraphs and markdown using H2 and H3s. Okay, create a 2,500 word article based on the outline. Use a conversational writing style that has a Flesh Kincaid readability level of 6th grade. Use extremely short paragraphs and markdown using H2s and H3s. And I'll put this and use a second person perspective. And of course, I'd remove hook. You don't need to add that. Okay, let's see how far it goes. And if it's too short, like let's say if it's 800 to 1,000 words, I'll modify this and I'll show you something quick. Okay, I'm gonna copy this article, then I'll paste it in the word counter, and it's actually almost 1,200 words, which is decent. So let me just delete parts of it there. So I could use this as is. To me, if I'm over 1,000 words, I'm actually okay with it. If I want to make sure that it is longer, then I'll show you the example of what I would do. Go ahead, put in that, and then I'll just say, start writing the first half. So by doing that, it will actually try to max out that first half, and then I'll go ahead and add it to the second half. And so with this word counter, shows over 1,100 words. So let's wait for this to finish. Okay, it says the first half is done. So let's just look at the first half. Put in the word counter, and that's 1925. And then I'll put this. Continue writing the second half based on the outline and my instructions for writing style. Let's do that. Put a conclusion still. I guess I can modify that. And then I'll just go ahead and paste it. So 1332, a little bit longer. If I remove the conclusion, sometimes I'll ask it questions like, why did you write a conclusion? And it gives me a different version. Just wondering how long this is. It's probably just subtracted the conclusion, but we'll see. And there's like probably another part right here that I have to remove. Okay, so 1290, not too bad. And the instructions I gave you about creating the first half, second half, it really depends on the topic and also the large language model that you're using. This is, again, it's a combination of any of these, OpenAI, Anthropic, or Google. I will typically pick a focused one, whether it's Claude. Recently, I've been using Gemini 1.5 Pro. I use the one that has AI built into it, web. So Gemini Pro Search. So Gemini 1.5 Pro Search. Unfortunately, the ones that you see as subscriber access, you'll need to subscribe to this tool. That is something that I've been doing. The ones that do not show subscriber access, you could utilize it in a limited way for free. So from there, what I can do with this content, I can go ahead and modify it. Another tool that I use is called Hemingway app. I'll paste that. It says grade 7 level, which is actually pretty good. As long as it's not like high school level, I'm okay with that. And so I can modify it to make it easier to read. And it's also in Markdown. So depending on what platform you're using, WordPress, many other platforms, they accept Markdown. You can tell it's Markdown when it has pound signs for the subheadings. So the way you could convert it, you go to a website called markdown to html.com, just select all on this side and just paste your content, and then go here, and then you could just go ahead and copy and paste, and this is the HTML version. So you could copy and paste the HTML version, take it to whatever website you're going to use, add in your hyperlinks. You could add in a call to action in the bottom, that talks about your affiliate program that you're offering, and you want to, of course, put in a very good transition. You could even use ChatGPT for that. So for example, just to make it simple, that I am offering a high ticket affiliate program that teaches people how to get traffic. Insert a paragraph. I'll say provide a paragraph at the end that will transition the reader from the previous topic to my program so that I can provide a CTA, which is a call to action link. And of course, you could provide it more details. Says, as you build your personal development audio program and seek to maximize your earnings and understand how to drive traffic to your content is crucial. If you're ready to take your efforts to the next level, consider exploring a high-ticket affiliate program that teaches you proven strategies for attracting the right audience. This program not only provides valuable insights into traffic generation, but also equips you with tools to transform your online presence. If you're interested in learning more and potentially increasing your income, click here to check it out. So then you would link out to click here to check it out, and of course format this and remove any parts that are not relevant. So that is one way to do it in the beginning, or I should say at the end of your content. And then sometimes at the very beginning of the content, I'll just put a link, especially if it's on like Medium. After, like, let's say, let me just show it to you here. After, like, let's say the hook, I'll just put just a call to action link here. And I'll say, for example, I'll learn how to build traffic to your offers, and then hyperlink to your affiliate link. So that is one way to do it. There are different strategies that you could utilize. You could even pre-sell even a lead magnet using a lead capture page and link out to that. So I showed you a lot. I showed you a lot how to create content. Of course, this content can be utilized for an audio script or even a video script to create YouTube videos. I typically don't try to say things word for word. I'll typically just look at the subheadings and I'll just go ahead and do like an impromptu speech based on that on my YouTube channel, but that's pretty much it. Of course, you want to confirm if all this information is wrong, that it is correct, of course, and do your best to create quality content. So that is all on ranking content, high quality content, by utilizing keywords that have a low keyword difficulty score. And of course, you want to go ahead and try out multiple domains to see what other keywords are being used, which other keywords have low competition scores, and then you'll be able to get a whole bunch of ideas to start ranking content on. That's all for today. If you want to learn more about SEO PowerSuite, make sure that you check out the link in my description, and take care.